Most traders believe the key to success is hidden inside some secret strategy or special indicator, but here's the truth. The real deciding factor between those who win and those who lose isn't the chart patterns or technical tools, it's psychology. The market doesn't just test your analysis, it exposes your discipline, your patience, and your ability to manage fear and greed. This video is more than just something you watch once and move on from. It's designed to be your reset button, a resource you can turn to whenever your mindset slips. Whether it's right before placing your next trade, after a frustrating loss, or even running quietly in the background while you work or trade, the goal is the same: to help you regain focus, stay disciplined, and approach the markets with the right mindset. The more often you hear and revisit these reminders, the more naturally they'll become part of how you think and act in every trade. And if you ever need more support with your psychology, there's a playlist on this channel built specifically for that. Let it play whenever you need to reset, and over time, it will rewire the way you respond to the market. For those who want to go deeper, check out the Ultimate Trading Psychology and Secret Strategy Blueprint linked in the description. Inside, you'll find a method most traders never discover, a combination of psychology and strategy that could be the missing piece in your trading. Many traders who use it realize it completely changes their approach. And don't forget, subscribers also have a chance to win a free copy of the blueprint. So watch closely before you trade again, because what you'll learn here may be the untold secret that transforms the way you trade.
When most people step into trading, they're filled with excitement. They've seen the screenshots, the highlight reels, the stories of traders turning a small account into something massive. So they come in with this belief: if I can just learn the right system, the right pattern, the right indicator, I'll win too. That belief, while motivating, is also the trap that causes most traders to fail before they even begin. Why? Because the market isn't just about knowledge or strategy, it's about psychology. Think about it. The market is the most honest mirror you'll ever face. It doesn't care about your dreams, your hard work, or even how much you think you know. What it does is reflect you back at yourself. If you're impulsive, that will show up in your trades. If you hate losing, the market will magnify that weakness. If you're greedy, fearful, impatient, or lack discipline, every one of those traits will surface in real time. This is why thousands of traders study endlessly, jumping from course to course, but still can't seem to find consistency. They're looking for answers in the wrong place. It's not that they lack knowledge, it's that they've never trained their mind to handle the pressure, the uncertainty, and the emotional roller coaster that trading brings. Let me give you an example. Imagine two traders with the same exact system, same entries, same risk management, same rules. On paper, they should both end up with similar results. But here's what really happens. One becomes profitable, and the other blows their account. How? The difference lies in how each trader handles psychology. Trader A is disciplined. They stick to the rules even when it's uncomfortable. They take the loss and move on. They don't let one bad trade bleed into the next. They keep their risk the same, their emotions steady, and over time they build consistency. Trader B, on the other hand, cracks under pressure. After a losing trade, they chase the market to try and make it back. After a winning trade, they feel invincible and double their position size. They exit trades too early because of fear, or they hold on too long because of greed. And eventually, all those small lapses compound into failure. Same strategy, same rules, same system. Different results because of psychology. This is why you can't ignore this part of trading. The untold truth is this: most traders don't lose because of bad systems. They lose because of bad habits. They lose because they can't control themselves. Here's another way to think about it. Let's say you've got a car, a sleek, powerful sports car with the best engine in the world. That car represents your strategy. But without fuel, without something to make it move, it's useless. Psychology is the fuel. It's what drives the car forward. You can own the most powerful trading strategy ever created, but if your psychology is empty, you're not going anywhere. And here's something else most traders don't realize. Losses are part of the game. Even professional traders, hedge fund managers, prop desk traders, the so-called market wizards, they lose trades all the time. But what separates them from beginners is how they handle those losses. A professional accepts a loss as part of the process. They don't let it define them. They don't spiral into revenge trading. They don't break their rules. They take the hit, log it, learn from it, and move on. But the average retail trader, one loss can send them into a tailspin. They double their size to make it back, they abandon their system, or worse, they freeze up and miss the next opportunity because they're still replaying that last mistake in their head. And here's where the real danger lies. The more emotional mistakes you make, the more you build those bad habits into your brain. The market ends up training you, but training you in the wrong direction. So before you place another trade, you need to understand this. Your biggest opponent is not the market. It's you. It's your habits, your impulses, your emotional triggers. Until you face those and learn to manage them, the market will always win. That's why psychology is the untold secret. It's the foundation that every successful trader builds on, and yet it's the one thing 99% of traders ignore until it's too late. If you're honest with yourself, you can probably see this in your own journey. Maybe you've studied strategy after strategy, hoping one would finally click. Maybe you've had winning streaks only to give it all back in one emotional decision. Maybe you've sworn to yourself, never again, after blowing up an account, only to repeat the same cycle months later. It's not because you're incapable, it's not because you're unlucky, it's because psychology wasn't your focus, and without that, no system in the world will save you. So the first step, before you trade again, is to acknowledge that trading success starts and ends with your mindset. The charts don't control your results, your ability to manage yourself does. That's why this video exists, to reset that perspective, to help you slow down, get grounded, and face the market with the right mental approach. Because until you do, every trade you take will be at risk of sabotage, not from the market, but from your own mind. If Section 1 exposed why psychology is the real battleground of trading, then Section 2 is where we step directly into the trenches. Emotional discipline. Because, let's be honest, every trader thinks they're disciplined until they're in the heat of the moment. Every trader believes they'll stick to their rules until the market does something unexpected, money's on the line, and emotions take over. The reality? The markets don't just test your technical knowledge, they test your ability to remain calm, rational, and consistent under emotional pressure. And that pressure is unlike anything else. It's money, risk, and uncertainty all tied together. That's why emotional discipline is the true dividing line between consistent winners and everyone else. Why emotions take over in trading. To understand discipline, we need to first understand why trading creates such emotional chaos. It's not random. It's hardwired into us. Your brain wasn't designed for markets. It was designed for survival. Thousands of years ago, when you sought danger, fear kept you alive. When you found food, greed pushed you to eat as much as possible before it was gone. When you faced loss, the pain etched itself deeper into your memory than any gain, so you'd avoid danger next time. Fast forward to today, the markets trigger those same primal systems. A red candle looks like a threat. A green candle looks like an opportunity you can't afford to miss. And the same brain that once helped you survive in the wild now sabotages you on the charts. That's why emotional discipline is not optional. It's not about being tough or mentally strong. It's about rewiring your relationship with risk, money, and uncertainty so you can act rationally in a game that's designed to exploit irrationality. The 4 horsemen of emotional sabotage. Let's break down the 4 emotional traps that destroy traders and how discipline is the antidote. Fear of missing out, FOMO. You see the market ripping higher. You didn't catch the move. Fear whispers, if you don't jump in now, you'll miss your chance. So you abandon your plan, enter late, and almost instantly regret it. The market doesn't reward latecomers, it punishes them. Discipline says, if it's not my setup, I don't take it, period. Opportunities are infinite. My job isn't to catch every move, it's to catch the right ones. Revenge trading. You take a loss. It stings. Your ego hates it. You feel like you need to get it back. So you rush into another trade, forcing an opportunity that isn't really there. And what happens? You dig the hole deeper. Discipline says, losses are part of the game. My only job is to execute well. If I've hit my daily loss limit, I close the platform. No exceptions. Overconfidence. You're on a winning streak. Every trade is green. You start feeling invincible, so you double your size, loosen your rules, and believe you can't lose. Then, just like that, one bad trade wipes out days of progress. Discipline says, every trade is independent. My rules don't bend just because I'm winning. Paralysis by analysis. On the other side of the spectrum, you're so afraid of being wrong that you overthink every move. You hesitate, you miss trades, you beat yourself up afterward. Discipline says, my plan tells me when to act. I don't need to second guess it. If my rules say enter, I enter. If they say pass, I pass. Here's the truth. Every trader faces these emotional traps. The difference between amateurs and pros isn't that pros don't feel them, it's that pros act with discipline despite them. The real definition of emotional discipline. A lot of traders get this wrong. They think emotional discipline means not feeling anything, no fear, no greed, no stress. That's a myth. You're human. You will always feel emotions. Even the best traders in the world admit they feel fear and greed. The difference is, discipline means your actions are not controlled by your emotions. It's not about killing your feelings. It's about building the ability to follow your plan, even when every cell in your body is screaming at you to do the opposite. Think of a soldier in battle. Fear's there, adrenaline's there, but training takes over. Discipline takes over. They act according to the mission, not according to the panic of the moment. Trading is no different. How to build emotional discipline. The process. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's trained, built, strengthened like a muscle. Here's how. Write down your plan. Without a written plan, you're improvising. And when emotions rise, improvisation almost always leads to disaster. A plan locks in your rules before the heat of the moment. Ask yourself, do I have exact criteria for entry? Do I know exactly where my stop goes? Do I have a clear profit target? Do I know exactly how much I'm risking per trade? If you can't answer these instantly, emotions will take over. Reframe losses. Losses are the tuition you pay to be in this game. The problem is, most traders treat losses like personal failure. That's what fuels revenge trading. Professionals treat losses like expenses, no different than rent or overhead in a business. They keep them small, they budget for them, and they move on. A single loss means nothing if you keep it controlled. A lack of discipline turns a small cut into a career-ending wound. Detach from outcomes. This one is hard but powerful. The market decides outcomes, not you. Your only job is to execute your process. If you followed your rules and took a loss, you won. Because long-term, following your rules is what leads to consistent profitability. Think like a casino. The house doesn't care if it loses a hand of blackjack. It knows its edge plays out over time. That's exactly how disciplined traders think. Control position size. Most emotional blowups happen because traders risk too much. The size is so large that a single red candle feels like an attack on their survival. The smaller your position, the easier it is to stay disciplined. Start small, build tolerance, scale up gradually. Build discipline outside trading. Discipline is holistic. If you're sloppy in your daily habits, hitting snooze 5 times, skipping workouts, procrastinating, that same lack of discipline shows up in your trades. Trading magnifies who you are. Sharpening your habits outside the market strengthens your mindset inside the market. Create rituals. Just like athletes warm up before a game, traders need rituals that put them in the right state. It could be meditation, journaling, reviewing your plan, or even repeating a mantra like, I am disciplined, I follow my rules, my job is execution, not prediction. This primes your brain before you step into the arena.
Why discipline compounds. Here's something most traders don't realize. Discipline works like compound interest. Every time you act with discipline, you're strengthening a mental muscle. Every time you break discipline, you're weakening it. Stick to your stop loss once, That's 1 rep. Stick to it 100 times. That's a habit. A habit that becomes part of who you are as a trader. And just like compounding in trading accounts, small, consistent acts of discipline add up to huge long-term results. Now imagine 2 traders with the exact same system. Trader A has no discipline. Trader B does. Trader A constantly sabotages their edge with emotional decisions. Trader B follows the rules no matter what. After a year, who do you think is profitable? Every time, it's the disciplined one. That's why discipline is the true secret. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's the skill that separates the pros from the amateurs, the consistent winners from the eternal strugglers. The takeaway. So the next time you sit down to trade, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I about to act from discipline or from emotion? Am I following my plan or chasing my feelings? Am I playing the long game or letting this single trade dictate my mindset? Because in the end, your strategy matters, but your discipline determines whether that strategy works or not. Trading is simple, but not easy. Simple because the rules can be clear. Not easy because emotions fight you every step of the way. And the untold truth is this: the traders who master emotional discipline win not just the trade, they win the game. Mastering emotional discipline is like learning to hold your balance in a storm. But balance alone isn't enough. If you want to survive and thrive in the markets for the long haul, you have to reprogram the way you think about trading altogether. Because here's the truth. Most traders approach the market with the wrong mindset from day one. They think like gamblers. They think like lottery players. They're searching for the one trade that changes everything. But professionals think differently. They think in probabilities, in processes, in consistency. And the shift from gambler to professional isn't something that happens overnight. It requires deliberate reprogramming, rewiring your mental operating system so that patience, discipline, and consistency become automatic. The difference between short-term thinking and long-term thinking. Imagine 2 traders. Trader A thinks only about the next trade. Every win feels like proof they're a genius. Every loss feels like the end of the world. Their emotions swing wildly up and down. They burn out. But Trader B thinks about the next 1,000 trades. They know each outcome is just one tiny data point in a much bigger sample. A win is just one brick in the wall. A loss is just the cost of laying that brick. Over time, their consistency compounds. The difference isn't strategy, it's mindset. Trader A is trapped in the short term. Trader B has reprogrammed their brain for the long term. This is exactly why most traders quit within their first year, while the few who survive end up thriving. They aren't necessarily smarter, they just reprogram their thinking. Step 1. Think in probabilities, not predictions. Your brain craves certainty. It wants to know, will this trade win or lose? That's why beginners obsess over finding the perfect setup. But the market doesn't work like that. There are no certainties, only probabilities. Professional traders think like poker players. They know no single hand guarantees a win. What matters is playing enough hands with enough discipline to let the probabilities work in their favor. That means when you take a trade, you don't ask, will this win? You ask, if I take this setup 100 times, does my edge play out? Reprogramming your mindset starts here. Stop thinking in single trades. Start thinking in series of trades. Step 2. Detach self-worth from results. Another huge mindset trap is identity. Many traders attach their self-worth to their P&L. If they're green, they feel like winners. If they're red, they feel like losers. This creates a toxic cycle of self-sabotage. Losses crush their confidence. Wins inflate their ego. Neither state leads to consistency. Professionals reprogram their identity. They don't measure themselves by single outcomes. They measure themselves by process. Did they follow their rules?
Did they manage risk? Did they stick to their discipline? That's the metric. When you detach your self-worth from results, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster. Suddenly, losses don't define you. Wins don't blind you. You stay grounded. Step 3. Build mental resilience through exposure. Here's a secret most traders overlook. Resilience comes from exposure. If you avoid discomfort, you'll never reprogram your mindset. But if you face it again and again, you adapt. Just like lifting weights tears down muscle so it can rebuild stronger, every disciplined trade, win or lose, strengthens your resilience. Take controlled losses. Stick to stop losses. Trade small until discipline feels second nature. Each exposure reprograms your brain, training it to stay calm under pressure. Over time, the stress that once overwhelmed you becomes background noise. That's the point where you start trading like a pro. Step 4. Journal to rewire patterns. Your brain learns through reflection. Without it, you repeat the same mistakes over and over. Journaling is how you interrupt that cycle. Write down your trades, not just the numbers, but your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Did you feel FOMO? Did you hesitate? Did you break rules? Then review. Patterns will jump out. You'll see the mental traps you fall into, and the act of reflecting rewires your brain to catch them earlier next time. Journaling isn't glamorous, but it's one of the most powerful tools for reprogramming mindset. The best traders in the world do it religiously. Step 5. Reframe time. Most traders are in a rush. They want to double their account in a month. They want to make it yesterday. That urgency is exactly what drives bad decisions. Reprogramming your mindset means reframing time. Think in years, not weeks. Think in careers, not quick wins. Trading isn't a race, it's a marathon. The traders who last the longest are the ones who pace themselves, manage risk, and let compounding do its magic. Here's a mental reframe. You don't need to win every day. You don't need to crush it every week. Your only job is to protect your capital and build consistency. Over time, that consistency compounds into results, far bigger than any quick win ever could. Why this reprogramming matters? Think of your trading brain like software. Most beginners are running outdated code, emotional, impulsive, short-term. If they don't rewrite that code, no strategy in the world will save them. But when you reprogram your mindset, when you think in probabilities, detach self-worth, build resilience, journal your patterns, and reframe time, you're upgrading your software. Suddenly, the same strategy that failed before starts working, not because the system changed, but because you did. That's the untold truth. Trading success isn't about adding more indicators. It's about reprogramming the way you think so your mind stops sabotaging your edge.
So here's the truth. Most traders fail not because of their charts or their systems, but because of the way they think. If your mindset is wired for impatience, fear, or greed, it doesn't matter how good your strategy looks, the market will expose that weakness every time. But the good news is, mindset can be trained. Just like a muscle, it can be strengthened. Every time you practice discipline, every time you think in probabilities, every time you reflect on your trades, you're reprogramming your mind to trade like a professional, not a gambler. That's why this video is here, to serve as your reset button, something you can come back to before you trade, after a tough loss, or even just let play in the background while you work. The more you revisit these lessons, the more they'll sink in and reshape the way you approach the market. And remember, if you ever feel like you need extra support, there's a full playlist on this channel dedicated to trading psychology. Let it play when you need focus or motivation, and over time, it will help train your mindset automatically. If you want to go deeper, there's also the Ultimate Trading Psychology and Secret Strategy Blueprint. You'll find the link in the description. It's not just theory, it's a framework that combines psychology with a strategy most traders never even discover. Many traders find it's the missing piece they needed to finally build consistency. And before you go, make sure to subscribe, not just to stay connected, but also for a chance to win a free copy of the blueprint. Thanks for watching. Keep coming back to this whenever you need that reset. And remember, mastering psychology isn't just part of trading, it is trading.